Bennett, what's up? I gotta get to the arena. Run, 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 run. Oh, Jesus Christ, how can I oversleep? That's the last time I get drunk and stay up watching Friends, that's for sure. Where the hell is the Maze Arena? Wait, arena? That'd be a great spot for the Coliseum. Oh, sorry about that. Jesus, watch where you're driving, dickhead. Really need to work on my drifting. I'm here!
What are you?
I'm here! I'm here!
Yo, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, wait, I didn't mean to pull that out. I didn't mean to pull that out.
Who did it? Who did it? Oh my god, what the fuck kind of beer is that, man?
Hey man, you crushed in my car, man.
Hey, I'm cool, I'm cool, I'm cool, I'm cool. I'm cool.
No.
Smashed a fucking
You
car.
crushed into my car,
Alright, can
man.
everyone just back up?
Yeah, back up, please.
Appreciate it.
What was that all about?
Yes.
What's your name?
Oh, my name's Jerry Simmons.
Well, you haven't got my vote. Let's put it that
These
way.
puppets right here, man.
Why is
Hey
swapping
man, you
what the
crushed
fuck?
into my car. I want to.
Yeah, I was in a
Can you
hurry.
back up?
Okay.
It was
I
you,
don't care,
motherfucker.
man.
Yeah, it was me.
Yo, can you
What
back
the
up?
Yeah,
fuck? You
crash
crashing
open.
into the cars, dog.
Walk
No
it.
man, I want
I was trying to get here.
Back up.
Everyone back up.
Back up now.
Haha, he's fucking with
Right,
me.
go
That's
park
all.
it.
Yeah, back up. I got the
You
cop
motherfucker.
support.
Billy.
Go
Fuck
park
you,
your
Jerry, you
car.
I'm
cunt.
gonna assassinate everybody who voted for you, motherfucker.
Wait, what?
Go park
Alright.
your car now.
Park my
Hey man,
car?
I want to sue this guy, man.
I'm not rich yet.
I want to sue you, man.
Alright, so can I get your ID?
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
Oh, free burger shot.
Hey man, just give me $1,000 for fixing
Oh,
my car, man.
that's all you want?
Yes. I want to repair my
Alright,
car, man. You crushed
Jerry.
into it.
Stop driving like a dick, alright?
There you go. I
Oh,
apologize
there's
for the
murder.
damages.
Yeah, you will be sorry.
$1,000, right? What do
Yeah, you already paid me, man.
Okay, where's this thing happening?
Inside.
Move aside, move aside. Sorry to keep you waiting, folks. Complicated business.
That guy need to be searched?
Okay, please stand over here.
Hey, sir, I
Candidate
gotta
Jerry
search him.
Simmons.
If you'd like
Oh,
to
wow,
take
this
a
is
look,
nice.
gotta search him. Alright, thank you.
What, are you gonna frisk me?
Yes, I do need to search you, sir. Do you have anything on you?
I don't know. Take a look. I think I got a knife.
Alright, why don't you turn away from this? Alright, okay. You're gonna have to put all of your weapons, so that your pistol, switchblade, your wrench, your knife as well.
Oh, those aren't mine.
Okay, I'm gonna confiscate these if they are not yours.
All right,
Alright,
that works.
okay, alright. Okay, you're good to go, sir. Since all that's not yours, yeah, but that's
Okay, Josh, you know what? I will just do a quick introduction and Judge Gentry. Are you there?
How you feeling today,
Okay.
Jerry?
Very tired.
I feel you,
Hi
man.
everybody. Hi everyone. Welcome to the very first public mayoral election. Campaign. And debate. So we have with us candidates
Do they not know we did this already?
and candidate Jerry Simmons.
Oh, this is the first official one, so apparently it's the first one.
Philosophies and that take on hot topic issues in relation to the community. And you have with us Judge Noah Smith and Chief Justice Paul Gentry, as well as Judge Ash Walker. So Judge Noah Smith and Chief Justice Paul Gentry would be moderating the debate. So I will open the floor for Judge Noah to speak.
Alright, so how we're going to be doing this is we're first going to... Can't hear me? Alright, well, we're going to be first starting off with Beth Allmother. She's going to have 30 minutes to make her point. Then it's going to be Jerry Simmons to make 30 minutes to make his point. Someone hand me a radio.
There's a radio.
Is that 30 minutes last time or?
30 minutes?
Okay, I'm giving it to you. Okay, please, here.
I have 30 minutes worth of material. I don't know about you, Jerry.
What the? What am I, FDR?
Alright, so the way we're going to do this, we're going to have Beth Allmother's going to start off with a 30-minute argument. She can bring up any point she has. What she's
Just filibuster, just ramble.
Then we're going to have Jerry Simmons. He can
I
have
thought
up
it
to
was just
30
going to be
minutes.
like a.
After that, you're going to both have able to rebut each other's points, and then myself and the other moderators will be then questioning whatever. And then the community can ask any questions on any matters that are brought up. Is that good? Alright, done then. Up to 30 minutes. Alright, you lot can start whenever you'd like.
I guess I'm going to do this over the radio so everybody can hear me properly. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for attending today to the first quote-unquote official debate. Good morning, good evening. For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Beth Allmother. I'm a business owner in the fine city of Los Santos. I own the Bean Machine, as well as I host a variety of events, and I have some side businesses as well. And I'm also a real estate agent. It's a little bit about me. Other than that, I just like to spend time in the community, you know, helping out my friends and being on my grind, as you know, most people in this city like to be. I don't think myself nor candidate Simmons has a half hour's worth of material prepared. I don't think we're used to such official meetings, but we'll try our best here. I'm just going to go over a little bit about my platform, and then I guess I'll pass it on to Jerry to go over his. I guess, you know, the main theme of my platform is it's the Through Your Eyes campaign. So through the eyes of the citizens of Los Santos, we come together and make this city better as a whole for everybody. And that means that, you know, I don't feel like any one person, you know, can make the city a better place all on their own. You know, everybody has to come together and work on that. So I've tried to make my campaign reflect that, in the sense that I'm always open to suggestions from the public and open to meet with everybody. I've tried not to promise anything that I know I can't put into power, and I will try to continue to do that if I do get elected. A few of my main points. My first and foremost main thing that I'm going to be pushing for is universal basic income for everybody in the city. I would like to have weekly payments, or, you know, set up something similar with the DOJ where we can scale a paycheck every week with your income bracket or your bank balance or some nature of that way, just so that, you know, everybody doesn't have to be so worried about where their, you know, money is sitting at. They can still enjoy their time in the city a little bit. And secondly, I would just like to do an investigation into some of the state funds, where the funds are coming from and where they're going, and possibly do a reallocation of certain funds, even to something like a short-term, you know, grant for events or businesses that are struggling. To push that forward too, I would also like to maybe create some committees, like, you know, a small business community or something of that nature, so that, you know, everybody who owns a business can get together and, you know, be on the same page about what they need in the city too. So there's some level of communication. I would like to open up community service options for those people who can't afford their fines or they would like to reduce their sentences due to good behavior. I would like to do an investigation into police accountability. I would like the LSPD and its departments' SOPs to be viewable to the public so that the public can in turn defend themselves and know what their rights are more properly. I would like to host bi-weekly town halls so that myself and others can stay in tune, with the citizens, and the citizens feel like they can have a voice in a public platform that will be heard, because I understand what it feels like to have some of your concerns fall on deaf ears, and that's not a good feeling, so I very much value that. I would like to do an investigation into the speeding camera fines. I don't think that we can get rid of them, but maybe if we could reduce them, or at the very least, maybe have a vote to see where that money goes to so that people feel like, it's fair and it's going to something that matters. I would like laws to have a little bit more clarity and bit by bit kind of have a look into those, because from what I understand, from what I've heard from people in the community, some of them are not very clear, and they can kind of be used in a way that is up to police and is not clear, so they can do what they want with them. Also, comparing, certain, say for example, one that came to my attention was, being caught in a vehicle with a lockpick versus robbing a store. It's very disproportionate, the fines that you get for those things, considering. So kind of having a look at that and making sure that everything is, priced at an appropriate rate for what it is you're doing and the risk that goes into that. And finally, I'd like to kind of introduce a bit of like a harm reduction model that would decriminalize small amounts of drugs in exchange for confiscation. Being on the legal side of things, I know how scary that can be for people. Everything that you've worked towards can just be, thrown away from one bad mistake. I know I've personally been there before. It's, everything you've worked for can kind of go down the drain very quickly from one mistake, like I said. So if we can work towards maybe decriminalizing some small amounts of drugs and other things like that, I think that maybe that would put some people on a better path moving forward too. So, but yeah, that's the majority of my platform. Again, I'm still working on it, and I'm open to suggestions from the public. So I'm gonna just turn it over to Jerry, and thank you all for listening patiently. Under the I, we have 17.
Can I borrow that radio?
It's 333.
I don't got a radio.
Oh, yeah, I can give you mine. There you go, man.
Now I'm panicking.
Everybody hear me?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, sure.
No.
Continue, you can go ahead.
Alright, well, my campaign's pretty simple. I started this for personal reasons. I was doing my investigation into crooked cops, and I basically got a big fat wedge put in my way. I don't know about you guys, but does it seem like in the city, whenever you try to look into something, you always seem to hit that brick wall and you can't get any further? Almost like somebody's working against you. That's what I'm trying to get past as mayor. I want to get a middleman in there, and I think that's what the mayor position is. People elect this guy, this mayor or woman, for that matter, and they'll sound off your ideas to the people in charge so that you can actually have a voice. And that's what I want to do, because I didn't have a voice whenever I was a working man, or still am. I worked for Weasel News. It's a bottom-rung job, really. It's got a lot of...
You interviewed me.
That's true, yeah. I've interviewed a lot of people in this crowd. Many familiar faces, I gotta say. But as a bottom-rung job like that, you don't got a lot of voice, you don't got a lot of power, and I think if everybody votes in this person, then they should be able to go to them and have their voice heard. And I think that's really what this campaign should be about. It's about giving the people a voice. Somebody that they trust. I don't know if you necessarily trust me, but you should. Because I don't have money, I don't have any power. I'm really just trying to help. But let me tell you about some of my policies. So the main thing I wanted was public records. And that's already kind of a thing, but you have to go through lawyers and, the subpoena process. And I think court records and certain things like that should already be public. There should be some terminal at the courthouse you can go to, log on and look at all that information yourself, because there really is no such thing as investigations in this city for regular people. You got to go through all these officials and all that mumbo jumbo. It's too many steps, and the people are too far removed from the information. It's kind of messed up.
That's true.
I know I've been campaigning about the speeding tickets. It's come to my knowledge that may be difficult to do, but if I can't do that completely, I've thought of a better alternative, I think, actually. And it actually involves giving the people money back. My idea was that non-felons, people that aren't going out and slaughtering cops every day and just doing horrible things to the city, could get a rebate from those speeding tickets. So say you're just, you got a parking ticket once in a while, you're going to get that money back. And I was doing a little bit of investigating on the money. I saw a tweet from, I believe, a judge, I think, that said there were about 16,000 tickets issued. And I don't know when this was. It was about 2 weeks ago. It could be more by now. But I started doing the math on that. And say like a speeding ticket is $300 average, which is about right. That would equal up to about $5 million. Now, of course, most of that money is going to go to your emergency services and businesses and events like that. But the rest of that can go directly back to the community as a rebate. The non-felons would get a rebate. They would get cash money back as an incentive for just not doing any crime. I think that's a great idea. It decentivizes crime because you get money, literally, for not doing anything bad, keeping your nose clean. So that's one way we could fight crime. Anybody who says they're going to stop crime is a fool. You'll never stop crime. It's too fun for these criminals to go out and do their shenanigans. And hey, I report for Weasel News. I mean, I can see they're having a lot of fun. I don't think it's really about the money at the end of the day. But another idea I had, and this one kind of relates back to non-felons as well, is community service. I know that that's already kind of a thing, but it's unofficial in this city. I want to make an automated system for that, where you go down to that recycle beach or trash beach, whatever you call it, and there's a little recycling truck there. And you go in, you clock on, and you just pick up recycling for the city, and you can work off your record and get it expunged. As long as you're a non-felon. I don't want serial killers getting their records expunged picking up trash. But I think it'd be a great idea to just get that third-degree stuff wiped off and raise money for the city as well. I think that'd be a great idea. And also that would add into the rebate thing I was talking about by raising money for the city. It's just straight cash money. And you're getting your records expunged at the same time, so it's a win-win for everybody. Some other ideas I had, let me check my notes here.
Now he's panicking.
Who said that?
Yo, Beth gave it from the heart, man.
Oh yeah, the Coliseum. Now I've got a lot of feedback about the Coliseum. A lot of people think that's a crazy idea. So I tapered it back a little bit, and I made it so that maybe just locals will compete in that. There are a lot of local criminals in this city. Very untalked about. You get to a crime scene, you see these criminals, these local criminals, laying on the ground dead. There's no investigation into these people. They don't have families. Nobody cares about the local criminals. So if we're not willing to put the people, so to speak, in those coliseums, maybe we could throw some locals in there. I don't know what y'all think about that, but I think it's a good middle ground. I think maybe 4 teams of 50 locals, all in different colored T-shirts, and you just kind of bet on them like horses. I think that'd be a great idea. But other than that, I think other than that, a lot of the things Beth was saying are things I've been thinking about as well, but I'm not obviously going to repeat everything she was saying. But those are the main things I think that that separate me from my opponent here, and I hope you'll consider me for mayor. I'd love to help the city out.
Hey, locals living here for free, man.
That's a good point.
Deserve to get shitted on.
Off the record, I totally agree.
This motherfucker doesn't pay taxes, man. That's why we honor the faith.
Alright, if we could have all silence now. If Miss Beth or either party would like to rebut any points either party has made, you now have your time to do that now.
I have a question.
For who?
Honestly, both
One
of you.
second.
Best one to answer first and Jerry next. That'd be cool.
Hey, 1 second on the. We'll open the floor for community questions in just a moment if you don't mind holding on for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
We do need another radio. I'm using Beth's right now.
Can somebody give Beth a radio temporarily?
I gave you yours back.
So are both of you guys good? Do you need to rebut anything? So,
Alright, I'm back.
so the moderators are going to begin asking you guys questions, and so we'll start with one of you who will have a minute to pose your question, and then the other person will have a minute to rebut, and we can go back and forth a little bit as we need to, and go from there. Okay? Both of you guys have radios and are good to go.
10-4.
Roger, roger.
Vector, Victor. Okay, first question for Mr. Simmons. With the recent rise in gun violence in the city, especially towards public servants, what, if anything, is your plan to combat this violence?
Gun violence in the city. That's a great question. I think, well, I'm definitely okay. I'm definitely okay with there being licenses for guns. I don't think it should be easy to get guns. But, however, I think tasers should be a little more readily available to the public. Something that's not just an axe that versus a gun you're going to get shot down with. I think there should be a ranged combatant alternative that's non-deadly. That's one of my plans. Personally, I think everyone in the city should have a gun. If everyone has a gun, everyone's afraid. And no one will do anything to each other. Fight fire with fire.
Miss Allmother, your response?
I think that just begs to question what are those government officials doing to incite the gun violence, because people don't try and shoot people for no reason, with all due respect. Another concern of mine is the fact that there are so many government workers in the city that have no way to defend themselves. That includes, the DOJ, that includes, people that are working for a pillbox, for example. I know I've heard a lot of complaints about, straight up people just getting shot up while they're trying to save somebody on the side of the road, and that isn't right. So I would have to agree with Jerry as well in his comment that I think we need people to be able to defend themselves, even if that just means handing out tasers. I mean, at the end of the day, that's going to save you a little bit of time. So, and also, if there's problems at the courthouse, I feel like maybe you should just have a cop posted there at all times, to be honest, because that's never going to change, I don't think, and that would be futile to try and change that.
Thank you for your responses. Moderator or Judge Smith, do you have one?
Yeah, this is to Beth. You stated that you want to make police SOPs public to all. Do you think that would do more harm than good?
Again, this is just a part of my platform, so we would have to take into account everybody's different perspective before we would push it forward, because I understand how that could also reflect on the police. But at the end of the day, the theme there, even if we don't make the SOPs available to the public, is the fact that we need to have some sort of accountability, because I do agree with Jerry. Anytime that you try and push to defend yourself in this city, you're just met with blockages. So if we could kind of relieve that, it would be a good thing.
Okay, one of your points was harm reduction, and one of the examples you gave was small amounts of drugs. Would you try and basically abolish the drug laws at that point?
Not abolish, but some of the lower charges, I think, rather than put them to large fines or potentially felonies, if we could rewrite some of those laws in such a sense that, if it's very obvious that this person is not distributing, maybe they're just trying to have a nice weekend, we can maybe not ruin their life over it.
You got any questions, Ash? Alright, if the public or want to ask either party any questions, feel free to know.
I got a question, man.
Go ahead.
Alright, man, it's for this Jerry Simmons motherfucker, man.
Can we refrain from calling Jerry Simmons a motherfucker?
I'm sorry, man. Jerry Simmons.
My mother's watching this.
Man,
Sorry, man. Sorry, yeah.
Anyway, man, since your whole speech based off, criminals, criminals are bad people and all of that, man, that's what I'm feeling, man, as a fella myself, bro. What you gonna do for the ex-fellas, man, because you're talking to a whole lot of people who got felonies on their record, man.
Absolutely. So I think whenever criminals go to the slammer, once those bars close, they're kind of just forgotten about, I feel like. They serve their time and nobody's really reaching out to them. The prison conditions are horrible. There's no guards other than locals in there, which, obviously we can't really have a conversation with those guys. It gets very lonely in jail. There's no prison counselors. There's nobody to reach out to your lawyer for you or any of that. I think the prison conditions should be changed a little bit. There should be more officials there. For the felons, I'm sorry, I can't do much for you. You do the crime, you do the time. But for non-felons, the third-degree offenders, I think we should be a little more lenient on them. The people who go into these gas stations and they're robbing the place, but they don't shoot anybody, they're non-violent, they comply with the police, they don't hurt their hostages. These people, I think we can give them a break. I've been in a lot of hostage scenarios myself for Weasel News, and I can tell you a lot of the criminals in this city are non-violent. They're not bad people. Some of them are actually good people. They've actually turned their lives around. I've seen it firsthand. So for the felons, I'll say, I can't do much for you. If you're going out there killing 30 cops in one night, there's really not much I can do. However, if you're a non-felon,
It's a felony to kidnap someone.
I will fight for your rights.
Jerry Simmons, I just want you to know, kidnapping is a felony.
That's what I'm saying. We can be a little more lenient to these people if they're non-violent. Non-violent. That's the key.
If you're gonna have a question for a felony to kidnap someone, guys, hold on, please. Let's be respectful to one another. So if you have a question, why don't you come step over here towards the Chief Justice? That way we make sure and recognize you as you ask the question and address the candidates. Thank you. The guy in the gray suit. You guys want to step over here to ask your question. That way we can go one at a time and not walk on each other.
Who are you talking to?
Mr. McNulty, you have a question? And who do you want to ask that to? For both candidates, the question from Commissioner McNulty is, what are your plans for emergency service funding? And we'll go to Beth Allmother first for that question.
The thing I've heard time and time again from all of our emergency service workers is they don't make enough. I would like to formally sit down with everybody and see where that's at, because to be honest, I don't know what y'all make. So I don't know if there's any wiggle room on that, but I would like to look into it because I feel like y'all do, you put up with a lot in this city, and I have a lot of respect for that. So if there's some way that I could help, I would like to do so.
Candidate Simmons?
So I have spoken to the police chief about this exact issue, the police getting their paid. I'm not sure what emergency workers make. I think it's pretty good, but at the same time, I want to introduce something called paid leave to them. So basically what it is for every call they go on, if they are indeed getting paid by calls or by the hour, it'll change based on whichever one it is. But every call they go on, 10% of that will be taken out of whatever they get for that call or whatever they get for that hour, and it'll be put back into this reserve. And then once they clock out, they'll get a flat bonus the second they clock out of whatever they've accrued. Each call they go on, each hour they're on, it's going to stack. So they'll get more and more money the more they're doing for the city. And that's to incentivize the people that are on duty, doing their job, versus just sitting in an alleyway somewhere and cherry picking the easy calls. You know, I have seen that.
Jerry, just to confirm, you said 10% out of their paycheck or 10%
10% out of.
making?
So like say.
So you're gonna give them their money back.
No. It's not subtracting. We're not doing like a what is it, a social security thing where we're just taking your money and saving it for you. It's going to be an additional 10%. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Just to clarify the question for the candidates, just a moment, please. To clarify the question for the candidates, just so that we can make sure to get the question answered, is for your awareness, the city services are paid a monthly stipend for their services. So the question is, how would you, or what process would you use to evaluate that and make sure that they're being compensated fairly?
Well, like I said, the paid leave program, with the different things like the community service that I'm going to be starting up, there'll be a lot more revenue for the city that will allow me to give them their 10% raises. And that's only for the people who are doing their job. I'm not just giving a raise out to every emergency worker, because you kind of got to earn what you sow, you know. But I think also across the board, not just for emergency workers, I think regular jobs, Weasel News, delivery drivers, if you complete, say, 150 calls, you should get a 10% raise. I think a lot of people in the city are going after the jobs that pay a lot versus the ones they actually enjoy doing. And why shouldn't you get more money? Why shouldn't you get more money for doing a job and sticking with it? I think it's a great idea. Raises for the city. There are no raises. I think that's very weird.
Miss Allmother?
Yeah, again, it's hard for me to give a promise on something that I don't know enough about, to tell you the truth and be frank with you. That's part of the reason why I want to look into the state funds and see where we can reallocate them, because if we can give some sort of extra bonus or in some way, you know, fund these people that are out there doing, you know, God's work, to be frank, I would love to do that, because I mean, at the end of the day, if we don't treat these people fairly, then who's going to come to help you when, you know, you need it? So.
Okay, for our next question, we're going to the man in the green jacket here standing next to me, sir.
Hi, so my name is Donnie Dimitri, local taxi driver. So I was wondering for both people, so within the city itself, there's, you know, there's some jobs like burger shop, mechanics, whatever, and, you know, only a very select few can, you know, apply for these jobs and actually have them. But I was wondering if there will be any more job openings, or if you guys can, you know, help the citizens to open up more jobs within the city itself.
I'd like to respond to that. I'm actually pretty passionate about that myself, if that's all right, Jared.
That's fine.
Proceed.
So I think part of the problem in the city is it's very difficult for somebody to open a business, because even if they do so, it's very hard for them to get what they need to run their business. So that then trickles down in there not being enough jobs for citizens. So I would really like to do an investigation into how we can help people create businesses and support them, which is part of why I wanted to make my council for the businesses in the town, and, you know, see what we can build from there. Because like I said, you know, there's not going to be any jobs created if nobody feels like they can create those jobs. That's basically how I feel about that. So if we can try and alleviate that in some way, I'm totally with you on that, man. There needs to be more options for people to make money, and make money legally too, not have to resort to crime.
Oh, are you done?
Absolutely, go ahead.
All right. So this is also something I've been really thinking about. A lot of the jobs in this city seem to be very closed off. Same thing with the information in this city. There's, you know, you got your mechanics. There's a few of those. I think, what is it, 2 or 3? 2? Something like that.
3, man. No, you're
3? I know the two main ones. I don't get around to the third one very often. But I think it should be a lot easier to introduce competition in the city. There's one hospital, and why is that? If you're in the northern part of the map there, up in the desert, having a little camping trip, and something happens, why are you supposed to go to the hospital? You're probably going to die out there. Why is there no other hospital? Especially in the northern part of the map. I don't know if that counts as the city, but hey, you know, we need some more hospitals in the city, I think. Same with businesses. I had this idea where if you wanted to start a business, but it was kind of a shaky idea, nobody's really sure if it's going to make money, you would basically be highly taxed, but you could open your business right away. And for the first month, you would just get a very, very high tax, but that would allow us to make the money and see if it's even negotiable or if there's any way to, get any profit out of this business. And it would also allow you to get up and running and, practice your business and see how things work and try things out as like on a temporary thing. You wouldn't make as much money as you normally would be, but you'd at least be able to get off the ground floor, and you would receive funding for your basic needs and everything, whatever the business needed. But it's just a good way to get your foot in the door. I had an idea for that. I'm not really sure the exact way that would go about, but I think it's a good idea.
I have a response to that. I think part of the problem with, and while I do agree there's way too many monopolies in this city that I won't get into at the current moment, I think when it comes to hospitals and things like that, they don't hardly have enough people to run pillbox as it is. So as much as I'm sure they'd love to open up another location, I just don't think that's feasible at the moment for them from what I've seen. Part of why I want to investigate, those state funds, and I mean, God bless you for doing the math on that, just the speeding tickets alone there, Jerry. I think that it would be a good idea, as I said, it would be nice to have grants for not only for events but for small businesses, if we could give them a loan or something to get started up, because part of the problem is we have a lot of people with great ideas and they might not be able to fund them even if they do push forward. There's a lot of costs involved with starting your business. I mean, I even know there's people in the city who are trying to open a used car dealership, but they have to buy the cars first. So how can we support that? Because I think that'd be something really great to have in this city. Yeah.
Financing for businesses, it's a great idea. Paying in a certain amount out of whatever your profits are, but you get to have your business at the same time. It's not going to make as much money, but you get to follow your passion versus just chasing that high paycheck. Like I was saying earlier with the, the Go Postal? A lot of people like that, taxis. It's pretty repetitive if you ask me. I've been out there, I've done them both.
It largely depends on your business too, how much money you're going to make, and it also depends on the support from the higher government as well, which is something, again, that I can't really get into in a lot of detail right now. But I know that some businesses are doing very well in the city, and some businesses are very much struggling because of the choices that you are and are not able to make. You can go find, for myself with Bean Machine and for Burger Shot, you can go find a sandwich in a glove box, but you can't find a body repair kit in a glove box. So you just got to think about those things when it comes to businesses and be a little bit respectful of the fact that not everybody has the same luxuries. So if we can help them out, that would be nice.
Thank you, candidates, for your questions. We're going to move on to the next question. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The gentleman with the red suspenders, your question is next.
Hello, yes, Butch Van Dyer here. I have a question about the criminals of this town, all right? What are you going to do about the criminals? I do a lot of stuff in this town here, and I'm getting slammed with legal fees, and I just hate it so much. I need to know if I can get a pardon, maybe, for something. Can I do that if one of you get elected? Maybe some get out of jail free cards too would be nice,
Mr. Simmons can take that one first.
Well, sir, I respect your moxie. Trying to work the system, we've all been there, but unfortunately, I have been informed that mayor pardons are not going to be a thing. I hate to tell you.
What a damn shame.
It is, because
what about taxes?
you do encounter, aside from the felonies and the criminals like that, you do encounter those...
I want to buy guns. I'm a felon, but I want to buy guns, so what can you do for me?
To buy guns?
Yeah, I want to buy guns legally because they're cheaper.
Well, I'm not sure about
I'm asking more questions.
Maybe get like a baseball bat or something? I don't know.
This man's special.
All right. Thank you, Miss Allmother. Do you have a response?
My suggestion, if you would like to buy legal guns, is don't do crime and then get your record cleared. I believe the lawyers might be able to help you with that, man.
Hell no. Alright, well that's enough. I'm done now.
Sorry, sir.
Okay, so I have a question for both candidates. As a lot of the jobs in the city go right now, legal jobs, such as Go Postal and Taxiing, doing those jobs and other jobs too, no matter what you're doing really, you can run into a lot of trouble on the streets, whether it be or while driving, whether it be with the police or, with other people in the city. And sometimes fighting like a case in court can be troubling if you don't have like a dash cam or anything like that. What ways or things could you implement into the city that would allow people doing legal jobs and, no matter what you're doing, to be able to, possibly record footage, whether it's audio, video, to possibly help themselves in the future if they have trouble with the police or felons, or they just need to prove their point or something like that with more evidence.
Record it on your phone.
Sometimes
yeah.
you can't always take out a phone,
Yes.
so.
Me and Jerry have actually both looked into this, so I'll give Jerry his time to talk in a second. But the problem there is, they tell you to just record on your phone, but if you're handcuffed, how the fuck do you record? It doesn't make any sense. And I do agree with you that, there's not a lot of ways for you to defend yourself when it comes to evidence. At the end of the day, it's your word versus a cop's word, and, that might not always go in your favor. As much respect for the cops as I do have, it is a very difficult situation, and we do need to look into that, because there's got to be some way that, like you said, taxi drivers, etc., can defend themselves on the job with video evidence. So I will definitely look into that if I do become mayor. And I'm sure that Jerry can say the same, because he feels the same about it.
Absolutely. One of the perks of being a Weasel News worker is that I have a live broadcast video camera. I can't tell you how many times that has saved me in police scenarios, evidence. I mean, even if they destroy my camera, I've still got that live footage from the time the footage cuts out. And I'm just thinking, why is this not available to every other job in the city? I think there should be body cams. You should be able to opt in. I'm not going to say everybody needs to wear one, but if you need one for your job, especially taxi drivers, Go Postal, you should be able to wear one. That should be a right.
Perhaps even, at the very least, get your permit to have one, or, something, just some way that we can work it in.
Absolutely. I have no problem with body cams. I met a little bit of resistance, but I think that may have been from a criminal element, so I'm not really sure. But I think the people that are just doing regular jobs would love to have this.
All right, we'll go ahead and move forward with our next question. Sir, if you'd step up here in the black hoodie. Go ahead with your question.
Oh, God.
I feel like the city, man, is not supporting couples and shit, man. Everybody be talking about money and all this stuff, man. But what with family, I think if you rent a house with all your family and shit, man, so it needs to be lower prices, because hard, difficult times, man. You know what I mean? And also, we need places to eat, man. Break shop always closed. I want to take my girl on a date, man. Where did I take her, man? City fucking empty, man. I can't eat a sandwich,
Miss Allmother first, please.
Sorry, I seem to have a bit of allergies or something. I think that I've spoken with other realtors about the affordable housing thing, being able to have a middle ground between, buying your first home and getting robbed outside of the pink cage. If we could take a look at the apartment prices and maybe get those lowered a little bit so people can afford to, live somewhere in the meantime, that would be nice. As for your burger shop not being open enough, if you would direct that to Naomi Song, maybe put in a complaint with her.
We need more places to eat, man. I'm talking about burger shop, especially, because it's the only place that we eat food and always.
Yeah, some new restaurants, maybe pizza or.
I would personally love to have some sit-down restaurants in the city. Something nice, something classy. You can go in there, have a nice meal.
Yeah.
That'd be great. On the burger shot thing, I think it's a money thing. It has to be. What motivates people to work? It's money. Like I was saying, people need raises. You spend a lot of time in that burger shot, you're gonna want something out of it, you know.
Money doesn't buy happiness.
90% of the time, it does. Especially in this city, all the things you can buy are cars, homes. You know, if nobody liked those things, they just live on the street.
Well, can I give an example?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll have like 2 houses, and I have like 10 cars. You know, every day I'm rolling with my whips, all of the 10 cars, man, again and again and again. End of the day, man, it's kind of boring, you know. It's like maybe it's fun at the start, man, but you want to kill yourself at the end of it, man.
Absolutely. You know, I'm running for mayor, and I'm living in a motel. I think there definitely should be some more affordable houses in this city, and more variety too. A lot of the interiors are very similar.
At the end of the day, too, Yusef, you have to remember that not everybody in the city shares your sentiments about supporting businesses. You know, if they can just go elsewhere and find something for free or for cheap, they're not going to go inside a restaurant for experience. So we kind of have to look into ourselves for that as well. As for, like, you know, workers not being around to work at these businesses, you know, you have to ask why. Is it because they don't want to be there? Is it because it's not enough money? Is it because nobody shows up? You know, you want to think about that. So, again, that's kind of why I want to have more support for these business owners, see what they need so that they can have a successful business.
I did have one point on the burger shot, actually. I don't think there's not enough to do in the burger shot. If nobody's there eating, you're just kind of standing around. There should be managers on duty receiving orders. An idea I had for a business in the city is a slaughterhouse. Where's the meat coming from? There's so many cattle farms up north, but there's no delivery trucks, there's no slaughterhouses. Where is this meat coming from? Is it imported? I think there should be a slaughterhouse, and delivery drivers should be delivering them to burger shot, creating new jobs for the city. We got the cows. Let's cook them up.
I know that has been spoken about already in regards to hunting and receiving raw meat, and in regards to fishing and receiving fish, with the possibilities of a meat grinder being implemented for the restaurants in the city. But again, that would have to be looked into because we don't know the limitations at this level of government.
Thank you for your question. And our last question for the evening.
Yes, this is for both the candidates, but Jerry's the one who brought it up. So you said something about the criminals or felonies. So regardless of like someone's first offense, like on the store robbery, right? Why should we be more lenient on those people? Regardless, it still makes them criminal, right?
Well, if you look at the jobs such as taxi, go postal, what's the other one? Towing. Towing, yeah, that's a big one. These things, while they're decent, you know, modest work, pay, not that great. I can definitely see the incentive to go rob a store when there are no cops on duty. If you're a non-violent person, hey, just grab this person off the street, you know, make a quick, what, 5K is it? Something around those lines. The incentive, I think, is for money. Most of the time for these non-violent felons. If they're violent, it's typically they just want to have that chaotic element. They're trying to have some fun. Because that's just what they find fun, apparently. But for the non-violent ones, it's money, which is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to fix the money situation to de-incentivize crime. And I think we should be more lenient on this people because they're pushed. Everything in this city costs money. Everybody drives a nice car. It's all about status. They're mentally pushed towards crime, I think.
I think that everybody chooses a different path in life, and how we come to those different paths is everybody's individual story. Not everybody is just some crazy lunatic, and I think we really need to stop othering people who do have a criminal record, because legitimately, like, if it weren't for, you know, some of the things that, you know, some of the choices myself and Jerry have made, I think that we could have gone down the same path too. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like, yeah, I do believe that people need to be given a little bit of a break if they're not completely violent, but it comes down to the fact that if you choose to do a crime, you choose to also take the consequences too, so.
Thank you for your question. Moderators, do you guys have any more questions?
Nope.
Ms. Feng, the moderators are done. Thank you.
Alright, thank you.
The city would like to say thank you to our candidates. I think they did a great job. I think we give them a big round of applause. And the election will take place here in a few days on the city websites. And we look forward to everybody voting. And congratulations to both of you guys for doing an excellent job in our first debate. Have a great day, everybody, and enjoy some
Thank
Burger
you.
Shot.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Have a great one, everybody. Vote Jerry.
Let's go, Beth, man.
Good job, Mr. Steele.
Fuck that, we're not voting for Jerry. Fuck that shit.
Hey, come back here real quick. There might be a security threat, and we might need to keep
Oh.
candidates safe here, you guys.
All right.
Oh, we know who it's for?
It's
Hello?
right against both yours and Beth's life.
Let me just get off this radio, so.
Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna wait until everyone clears out. We just had a credible threat happen. Apparently, someone did have a threat, so we're just gonna make sure everyone clears out, and then we'll get you guys transported.
Thanks for the security, gentlemen.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes, thanks for the security. Sorry about wrecking into that car earlier. Like I said, I was in a hurry. Complicated business.
It's like more of a stem than an ishas, you know. Oh, that sounds nice.
Fireworks.
Can I have a request to have the funny hat cops escort me instead, or do I not get a choice?
What was that name?
I just really like the funny hat cops. That's just.
Well, you shot once, you shot 1,000 times. Reference to myself.